Giannis Antetokounmpo is back-to-back 40-point games. He has been an MVP twice. But one thing that I've noticed, and I saw this on social media yesterday, and I've followed up by asking guys, when like Dame Lillard, hits a logo three, you see a lot of the elite players of the NBA tweet about it, all excited. When you see even Luka have a game or make a shot, whatever it is, you see reaction. I don't see that same type of reaction, enthusiasm for anything Giannis does. Remember what James Harden said last year about how, anybody can just dunk the basketball, it takes skill to do what I do. Is there something about Giannis's game that maybe the high-end players of the league aren't respecting nearly enough?
Well, you know what, Alan? I don't know, and I was wondering the same thing. When you have a guy that dominated the way he has dominated in these past two games, especially in Game 3, I was expecting a bigger reaction. And you know what I came to the conclusion of is that guys are just bored with the process. I mean, think about it. Over the last 2.5, 3 years almost, Giannis has dominated, right? They're used to Giannis putting up historical numbers, having a hell of a player efficiency rating, right? And so what happens is the same thing that happened with LeBron James when he was in Cleveland. Guys are just getting bored. It's becoming a norm. So when they see Giannis attacking the rim, when they see Giannis getting downhill, when they see him snatching the screws out the basketball goal, when they see all these things, they're like, oh, we're used to seeing Giannis do this, which is unfair. At the end of the day, you have to give credit when credit's due. I always say I can't applaud a fish for swimming, okay? But right now, the way that Giannis is in the water, he's acting like a great white, and we don't see them rally. So at the end of the day, I feel like as a fraternity at all, we have to start respecting Giannis for what he's doing and what he's bringing to the table far as his greatness.
Yeah, I guess I enjoy watching him play. I don't know. I get annoyed, I guess, Perkins. You've been there. You played against him, played with him, I believe. Shaq, the comparisons to Shaq drives me nuts because I look at Shaq as striking fear into his opponents. I don't necessarily look at Giannis as striking fear into his opponents. The only similarities to me is they both miss free throws. But maybe being a football player and you being an NBA guy, you can bring a little more insight into it for me.
Well, Key, I know how you feel, right? Because I have the same problem with Giannis. Here's 2 points. One is that in Game 3, you know the difference in Game 3 than Game 2 that we saw in Giannis? Forget him having 40-plus and dominating in the inside. He played with a certain type of swagger, right? He played with a mean streak. And that's what you're accustomed to. That's what I'm accustomed to. Key, when you was on the football field, you had that killer mentality. You was a dog. You was an instigator. Forget making plays, going down the field, scoring touchdowns, making them unbelievable catches. You also had that swagger about yourself. And I think that's what Giannis be lacking at times. That's why it don't look like eye candy to the real ones that know. But when you think about the comparisons to Shaq, think about it. Shaquille O'Neal said himself, if it was one player in today's game that mimics him or that, that he would say that is a version of himself, it was Giannis. And I think, when you look at what he played, how he played with brute force, he's polarizing, right? You only have certain guys that we have seen over the last 15 to 20 years that are polarizing. That's guys like Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Giannis. I mean, it's just dominance. But I feel what you're saying, Keith. I want to see that killer. I want to see that yelling in guys' faces. I want to see that tenacity. And I think in Game 3, he finally showed that side of him.
Perk, is it going to take another 40-point performance from Giannis for the Bucks to even this series?
You know what? I don't think so. I think the Bucks will even this series. I think Phoenix will do a better job of emphasizing taking away Giannis, and I think the others will actually step up and deliver in great fashion. I'm still waiting on Chris Middleton to have a real breakout game. Look, people overlooked that he had 29 points in Game 1, but I'm looking for that Chris Middleton to go for 40. We all know role players play better at home. We watched P.J. Tucker finally put his fingerprints on the game. I think the Phoenix Suns will find a way to give Ayton some help with Giannis, load up, take away a few easy baskets, try to play without fouling, try to make him take tough contested twos outside the paint, even when he catch it on the low block. But I still think others around him will step up and deliver. Look, I had Phoenix in 6, but I'm leaning towards having Phoenix in 7. I think this is going to be one of those playoffs. Let me tell you why. I think it's going to be one of those playoff series where each game, the home team will win in great fashion. Because just think, in these 3 games, we still haven't seen a fourth quarter where it's a lead change and a possession by possession. So with that being said, I'm like, I see it. I'm watching the Phoenix Suns. I'm watching their role players look a little rattled on the road. Devin Booker, he looked a little rattled. P.J. Tucker made him uncomfortable. Mikal Bridges, nowhere to be found. So when I'm watching those type of things, this is when that youngster in those guys come out, right? Where they play better at home in front of their home crowd because they have that fan base.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.